Are you ready?
Yeah. How do video game economies work?
How do we survive on Mars?
Is there a reason that memes look the way they do?
If death is a process, at what point do we die?
The new YouTube original show, Glad You Asked, finds the answers to those questions and more.
Glad You Ask is like an investigative search for the biggest questions that our YouTube audience and people on the internet want to answer.
We sat down with a few of the show's hosts to learn the process of finding answers to our most asked questions. It all starts with the question.
NASA says the first humans will set foot on Mars in the mid-2030s. It will be the most dangerous mission any human has ever taken. My question is, what comes after that?
These aren't your everyday inquiries, which means they need more than everyday solutions.
So we had this one question, what happens when you die? And there are a lot of ways that you consider that question. And we ended up taking a look at the moments that happened to you closest to death.
I saw this big flash of light come out of the phone and hit me right in the face. And I was confronted with myself on the ground about 10 feet away. And, the first thought that popped into my head was, oh, I'm dead.
Once the investigation has a direction, you can start on the next step, the journey.
The viewer gets to kind of come along with us as we investigate these questions. David, how often do you cry?
It depends on the week.
Actually, on my way here, I cried.
Sometimes when you're in your most vulnerable situations and Adele hits, she really hits.
For every topic, there's an expert.
I have enlisted the help of a stop-motion animator.
I'm on my way to meet an orthopedic surgeon who was struck by lightning.
We are at the offices of Know Your Meme.
And for every question, there's a place to go to solve it.
We're in the middle of an ancient lake basin that scientists think is one of the most Martian places on Earth.
And finally, it all comes down to what you really want, the answer.
So we are getting the best answers we can, and sometimes it's not just one clear cut and dry thing.
Sometimes you'll end up finding other answers to questions that you didn't ask in the first place.
So this is what happens if you cut onions by a cat, which is not a particularly nice thing to do. But what's unique about us is that humans are the only animal that cries tears of emotion.
And sometimes your answers will be completely unexpected.
One of the most surprising things that I learned was that it's not necessarily the people who suffer the most that cry the most. That's not exactly how the data shakes out.
And other times you'll learn more than you ever asked for.
Crying evolved as a signal to others that we need their help in order to survive. But for adults, crying can be a message to ourselves if we pay attention.
Answering the most searched for questions is on the top of the list.